So unprofessional. Not having the camera set up by the time I start. So unprofesh. So unprofessional. Okay, we do have audio. Let me move the mic a little closer. Alrighty, live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And for my financial content, you just scroll past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show. Today is number 529 of that series. And there's also the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist as well. So plenty of me to listen to if you are so inclined. Speaking of being inclined to listen to something, there are 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist, including where is it? You belong dead free. You belong dead free. And of course, T Swizzle has gotten maybe about 5 cents of revenue sharing on that from me, so she can add that 5 cents to her billions, and more than happy to assist in that. So maybe she can get something to eat tonight. Market report. All right, and the Russell Small Cap Index was down all day, but it managed to finish in the green as well. And hey, what do you know? NASDAQ up the most. And let's see what the rest of the planet is looking like. Everything up in Europe, across the bloody pond. Mostly down in Asia. Let's see what the US dollar is like. Down to the euro, up against the Japanese yen, up against the British pound, love. Bloody quid. Up against the Canadian dollar, sorry. And down, though, to the Australian. Everybody else, wasn't doing that well, but Australia said, nar, not going to take that. Intel down big today. I don't know, what was it? Cassava Sciences also down big today. Apparently, and that's why we also don't do single stocks, because that way, if you have all of these balance that out and negate that negative 6% from Intel. All of these and the Intel should be in your large cap managed fund. Oh, let's see, what's the most? Of course, 9.8% up today is the Tesla, and that's normally going to be one of the most followed single stocks on the Google. That's normally going to be in this group of 6. If you add NVIDIA, that's going to be the Magnificent 7 stocks that they call it. And of course, NVIDIA would be in your large cap managed fund as well. What else do we have to talk about today? Oh, AbbVie is a pharmaceutical company. I did look that up. And that was today. Don't really care that much about it. To look to see what the earnings were, though. And what do we got for futures? So, a lot can happen over the weekend, so who knows, but looking good so far in the after hours trading. Let's check the news. Google stock rises after it beats on earnings, raises dividends, and authorized $70 billion in buybacks. From Fox Business, fast food chain closing up to 200 underperforming locations. Who is that? Jack in the Box. Okay, I don't know that we have any here in Columbus. And of course, the ticker symbol is Jack. That's fun. NBC News, Bezos backed Slate Auto unveils affordable EV truck. I read something about this earlier where it does not have a stereo, is what they called it. Why wouldn't they call it radio? I mean, I guess because could be, it could be, you know, internet driven or radio, or you could put a CD in as well. So perhaps that's why they call it stereo, but doesn't have stereo or paint. It's just gray like this. What else was it missing? I can't remember what else it was missing. I think it did have air conditioning though. New Republic, Trump just did the most corrupt thing any president has ever done. Alrighty. CNBC, buy now, stock up or delay. Here's what consumers are snapping up or putting off in face of tariffs. All right. Overreacting, I'm sure. Forbes, Doge trolling, ransomware hackers demand $1 trillion in chilling attack. Fun times. Can this $860 helmet fix your hair loss? A helmet? Okay, the scalp treatment's gaining traction now. Wonder what that does. Doesn't show it has any wires coming from it, so not like, you know, electric stimulation or something like that. Who knows? CNBC, receiving odd text for someone else, rise of wrong number messages as new payday for scammers. Yeah. You might think it's just an accident. And you say, oh, let me just tell them that, oh, that person must not have this phone number anymore. You know, what you do is you delete it. And if you're really sure that it's a scam, then you can also report it instead of just deleting it. But you just delete it instead of replying. CNBC, Novo Nordisk scores major legal win that bars many compounded versions of Wegovy and Ozempic. All right. Yeah, I think other people were making, like, adding different things to it and stuff and selling it as their own thing. And so that might be illegal. Speaking of the NVIDIA, up 4.3% today, and that'll certainly help balance out that -6 from the Intel right there. So all that does help. Alrighty. And that will do it for the market report. And S&P 500 closes higher for the 4th day in a row. Right there. So cool. Let's answer some questions. Did this one yesterday. Best way to manage my debt is to pay it off as fast as possible. People are nitty calling it managing my debt. From Sassy Climber Girl. All right. Baby step 1 to baby step 4 in 1 day. Smart decision. Yes, and you consider yourself very lucky that you could do that in 1 day. That, you know what that means? That means you were debt leveraging cash laying around or something liquid that you liquidated. And so you were debt leveraging before and now you're not. Let's see. There's more to it. Not that much though. Discovered Dave and his method a few weeks ago and have been trying out dollar for about a week. We have approximately $80,000 across the high yield savings account plus normal bank savings account for approximately $40,000 in consumer debt. You have it still? Okay. So it's not a smart decision that you already made. You're trying to make the decision, and the answer would be yes. You do not have extra savings while you have debt. That is so dumb. You do not do that. The only time you would do that is if, like the last caller for the Ramsey show today, at least the YouTube portion. If you are expecting a baby, then you pause the baby steps and just pile up cash. If you have some other kind of emergency, you pause the baby steps and pile up cash. You do not have anything other than the $1,000 emergency fund. Where is it? There it is, right there. You do not have any more than that. It doesn't say, and then save more than that if you feel like it, or because of today's economy, it doesn't say that on there. So you're doing it wrong. You debt leveraging, and so heck yes, you go from baby step 1 to baby step 4 in one day, and don't have your savings, because that would be doing it wrong. So we could literally jump from baby step 1 to baby step 4 today. Any reason not to pay everything off before May 1st? No, do it today. My main reason for asking the question is because paying off our debts in one fell swoop won't change any of our current spending habits, which I've heard repeatedly in listening to the Ramsey show. That's still going to be the advice. The advice is not to have extra savings and pay your debts, just put minimum on them, or even a little bit more than minimum on them each month. And to try to learn it that way. I'm going to tell you to go ahead and get completely out of debt. And you already know that by mentioning it, you're aware of the spending. So just stop it. And if you can't do that, then you're not an adult. You need counseling. You're not able to do adult things. You're not able to do adulting. So you would need counseling for that. If you have some kind of mental problem that still makes you spend when you know that it's a dumbass idea. I've heard repeatedly and listened to the Ramsey show. The other reason I'm asking is because we're both pretty secure in our jobs. $150,000 net annually, about a 6-month emergency fund. Feels a little shallow if either of us lost a job, since we live in a moderately high cost of living area. That doesn't matter. So so this could also be you're probably thinking of what you're spending per month. You would not be spending all of that stuff, because the emergency fund only covers what is necessary to live. The emergency fund doesn't cover 8 different movie channels, for example. Subscriptions, I should say, these days. It doesn't cover investing. So that is all that you have until you're in step 7. Then you can save however much extra. You can pad the 6-month emergency fund as much as you want, but until then, the money goes to the baby steps instead. So you're doing it wrong. You're making good money. You live in a moderately high cost of living area. If you think it's too high for you, that a 6-month emergency fund isn't enough, if you can't get another job in 6 months, then maybe you need to move out of that moderately high cost of living area. So yes, you should do that today. Otherwise, you're debt leveraging, and that would be against Mr. Ramsey's advice. So you can, again, do what you want to do, or you can follow proven financial advice. 30 years, millions of documented success stories, and the crap you're talking about, not proven. Drowse 89. The baby steps have transformed my life in 6 months. Great. Baby steps 4 through 6 flare. This person does like to talk about their flare, apparently, or at least likes to set it. Before the start of the year, I had never heard of Dave Ramsey until a couple clips appeared in my YouTube Shorts feed over the new year. Did you ever type anything into the Google that was about paying off debt, maybe? And that's how that can get in your feed. It also could just pop in there. I guess the algorithms were pushing a new year, new you idea. Yeah, that as well. That as well, because January, definitely. Time for that, time for resolutions and so forth. And the Ramsey stuff definitely shows up more often. Since watching a few videos and looking into the baby steps further in February, I've become a all-in fan. That would be an all-in fan. Watching or listening to every episode while working or driving. I've managed to get my wife fully on board with the process. Well, that's the real trick, so congratulations. And we have attacked it together. Great, that's how you need to do it. Just been having my daily look into finances spreadsheet and realized that on 1st May, okay, probably not in America, I'm guessing, because of the S in realized, and 1st May instead of May 1st, I will increase retirement investments up to 15% of income, because you'd be on baby step 4, yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do. And on June 1st, we'll make first overpayment on mortgage, about a 318% increase on minimum payment, and that's awesome. That's fabulous. Can't believe I'm so close to starting in baby step 6. Thank you, Ramsey Solutions. Yeah, on May 1st, yep, you're doing steps 4, 5, and 6. You do all at the same time. So yes. No, due to personal circumstances, no need to save for college, baby step 5. Yep, so you get to skip it. If it doesn't apply to you, you get to skip it. Same way you get to skip step 2 if you don't have any dumbass consumer debt. Like a bunch of us were dumb to take out. Rusty Esposito. Is the Ramsey method right for us? No, not if you're whiny. Not if you're spoiled. Not if you don't want to delay gratification. Not if you aren't willing to sacrifice. Then it's not. Let's see what the dealio is. Baby step 3, flare. No, baby step 1, flare. Long story short, wife and I are expecting our first kid later this year. Well, you wouldn't be doing anything except piling up cash now, though. You still need to cut the budget. So you would still do the budget and cut that, but you wouldn't be putting extra on debt. You can go ahead and finish the starter emergency fund, because that's just piling up cash too. So you would just keep piling up cash past $1,000. This is the case when you would do it because you're not actually doing the baby steps, because there's an actual baby coming. And so you pause the baby steps. It's called stork mode. If there's an emergency, you also pause the baby steps, and then it's called storm mode. Our financial situation isn't too bad. 130K salary combined. Debt 13K on car loan. Dumb. Paid off in 3 years. From now, that's a long time. If you're even projecting it, even with the you making 130K, 140K mortgage should be doable on 130K. 25 years left, and that's the problem. So you need to be putting a lot more to that once you actually get to baby steps 4, 5, and 6. You need to be throwing all of your extra money there and stop spending money and stop buying. I'm sure already have bought the first kid later this year. I have already bought stuff for that kid, I'm sure. And so stop buying stuff. Just because it's cute doesn't mean you have to buy it. It's not a law. 24K student loans. So far, the debt is really manageable. Again, you don't manage it, you pay it off. Oh, locked post. 63 comments. Must have gotten contentious in there. Not too big of a drag on our finances. It doesn't matter. You just pay it off as quickly as possible. We obviously wanted to get into a better position, but I'm evaluating a few different methods. All right. It's your life and your money. I fully support you doing what you want to do and not following the Ramsey advice. The best thing for you to do is the Ramsey advice. And hey, guess what? You bothered putting baby step 1 here. You don't have to follow any of them, not even baby step 1. So you get to make up your mind. So choose the right thing. That way I won't have to, if you post later, I won't have to say he chose poorly. Boom, 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 boom. I'm familiar with Dave's methods and the baby steps. Just not sure it's the best for us in our little situation. Yeah, we're the exception to his rule. That's bull crap. We have a 3-month emergency fund. You're doing it wrong. Currently, which we're still adding to in anticipation of taking a month unpaid when the kid arrives. Well, you would not be putting extra on debt right now anyway because of the impending child. Anyone in a similar or been in a similar situation? Thanks for taking the time. So you can't compare that part to the rest of it, because that's exactly what you would be doing. You would just be piling up cash, but it does not go to the starter emergency fund. It's not part of that. It's just cash piled up in case there's some kind of issue where you need to spend money for some reason due to pregnancy complications or something like that. And so that part is different. Now, if there was no baby, then it would be no. It's $1,000 or nothing, or you can do whatever the crap you want to do. And so I don't know what the problem was here. Dave method goes on pause until you have the baby. That's right. I think you're better at prioritizing saving / investing. See, that's as dumb as crap. This person is on here on the Dave Ramsey subreddit just to type in this advice that is not Dave's advice, just because he thinks he's smarter or he's mad at Dave or something like that. Who knows? But that's why that person is there. Trolling, basically. And this is new. I'm scared to pay with my car. Tough crap. Do it anyway. If you want to follow the proven way to do it, 30 years, millions of documented success stories, or do you want to be a little baby and be scared? Long story short, bought a truck because I have 2 babies and a 4-year-old, and the Corolla just can't fit it. Really, you cannot fit 3 children in a Corolla. I think 3 children will fit in the 2 car seats, and a 4-year-old will fit in the back seat of a Corolla. You just wanted it. This is what George was talking about today near the end, something that he mentions every so often, but I talk about it more than him, but that's where I heard it from. Justification station to get a truck. I can pay off the loan today, but I only have $1,800 left in my savings. So that's good. You know why? Because you're only supposed to have how much? How much, kids? $1,000 is all you're supposed to have. Right? Did you read the baby step? I mean, you put baby step 2 on here, so theoretically you know the baby steps. So why the dumbness? Why the dumbness? My checking has more than enough for bills and incidents like tires, which I will need in a few months, but I'm being stupid for no reason here. Let's see, I'm just scared to go through with it because a lot has gone wrong with the house. New water heater, a new HVAC, microwave, dishwasher, washer and dryer. All of those broke. All of those broke for you. Or you just thought you needed a new one instead of getting it fixed. I mean, a microwave, sure, you probably don't fix that. But like the washer and dryer, the dishwasher, HVAC, who knows what the status of that was, and the water heater, I can't tell you, but you don't, theoretically, if you go by law of averages, you're done with that. But and that's up to you. You don't have to follow the Ramsey advice, but if you're gonna follow the Ramsey advice, you're doing it wrong by having a larger emergency fund. a new shower stall because the pipe was leaking. Oh, I got a great idea. I got a great idea. Got a great idea. Got a great idea. Got a great idea. Just fix the leaking pipe instead of getting a new shower stall. See, people are nutty. They take small repairs that could be done and turn them into remodels. Dumb as crap. Previous plumber didn't screw a nut with Loctite. Yep, that sucks. All paid in cash. All happened over 2 years, and another incident could easily wipe me if all I had was $1,800. Shouldn't even be having that. Should just be having 1,000. So I don't care. Sorry. So if something new happens, do vendors even accept payment plans? Some of them may. Am I screwed with a broken appliance / home? Well, theoretically, the new water heater, the new HVAC, the new microwave, the new dishwasher, the new washer and dryer would have a warranty on them. So that should get you over the hump, possibly, especially if this dumb truck is your only consumer debt. And if it's not, you got more problems, and even more so, you should be following the Ramsey advice. But the beauty of it is you get to make your own decisions, whether to be dumb and not do the Dave advice, or whether to do it. Which you're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. You bothered to put baby step 2 here. You must think it has some merit. But, oh, I just need more in savings. And that's a no on the Ramsey plan. So you can do whatever you want to do without asking anybody on Reddit, without even comparing it to the Ramsey plan. You can do what you want to do. I don't care if you're scared or not to pay off your car. CW. Should I pay off my 4% auto loan? It doesn't matter what the interest rate on. Interest rate is not a justification for keeping a loan around ever before achieving 3 months of emergency fund, or do both. No. So again, so you see, actually let's look at the Ramsey version since I bothered to bring it up. I thought I did. Product, 7 baby steps, and oh look, it's free. It says it right there. So you see, and I forgot what, oh yeah. Yeah. So baby steps. It says $1,000. Right? For your start emergency fund, right? It doesn't say how many months of expenses. It just says $1,000. So I'm pretty sure it should only be $1,000 while you have that dumb car debt, right? Right? And then, oh look, step 2 is before step 3. You don't do all the baby steps all at the same time. In fact, you do steps 1, 2, and 3 in order, one at a time. People are nutty. Did I open that? Yeah, I did. Oh, I thought I did. I'll try to make this short and sweet. This is the same dumb crap as the scared to pay off my truck. The same dumb crap. Might not say scared. It might just be wanting to debt leverage, because if you keep the loan hanging around and you have extra savings other than the $1,000 emergency fund, that is debt leveraging. And so, no, you don't put a little bit extra on the auto loan and a little bit extra to the emergency fund. No, that's dumb as crap. People always think they have to improve on something that has been already proven to be the best advice. My emergency fund is below the recommended 3 to 6 months. Hey, guess what? You're not on step 3 where that's recommended. Figure out life. However, my wife and I work in healthcare and have pretty good job security. Now, the only debt we have is our auto loan, which is 15,000 USD at a 4% interest rate. Sell the car. sell the car and buy a beater. And then you'll be in step 3, and then you can have more. How about that? And then you don't have a good car that you like, apparently. So, yeah, you can get rid of the car. And that way you can have more emergency fund then at that point. But you can't do both and follow Dave's advice at the same time. If you do the dumb crap you're thinking about, that's not following Dave's advice. And so you can certainly do that. Currently having a high yield savings account with 4% interest. So again, the interest, I don't give a crap. It doesn't change the advice either way. The interest rate never changes the advice, but people love to tell you what it is like it matters. I'm almost 40. I'm behind on retirement savings. My 401k is lacking. I got a great idea then. Get rid of the $15,000 car that you owe on. You should not have bought that in the first place and financed it. That was dumb as crap. So when you start the baby steps, you start looking for dumbass stuff you did like that, and you undo it by selling it and getting a beater. We have about 600 each month to throw somewhere. And also what I'm going to tell you to do, another locked post, man. People are getting nutty on the Reddit. 600 each month to throw somewhere, and I'm going to go, didn't you just say work in healthcare and have pretty good job security, so probably make decent money as well? So what are you doing? Probably lifestyle creeping, probably spending too much. So I got a great idea. Quit that bull crap. Started a Roth IRA and started investing. You would not be doing that either. That's step 4. You're doing it wrong. And Bitcoin, not advised. Index funds, not advised either. You're doing it all wrong. But I'm now thinking maybe smarter to pay off the auto loan. Really, imagine that. What could that be? The fact that step 2 is pay off all your consumer debt, all your non-mortgage debt, and emergency fund is step 3, and then investing only starts in step 4. Is that what led you to believe that? How did you come across that? How did you think that that may be smarter to do? Did you make up that in your own mind? Or did you just read the freaking baby steps? Dumb. So the question becomes, do I fund one before the other? Do both times simultaneously? Thanks for any help. I'm trying to make smart decisions despite being kind of a dummy when it comes to finances, obviously. But the beautiful thing for you is that the baby steps, the Ramsey advice in general, are very simple to understand, and obviously you understand it since you're thinking that might be smarter to do exactly the way that Dave says to do it. Update, so the general consensus is 1, reread the baby steps. Yeah, but you already knew it because you already thought that that might be smarter, so you were on the right track already. 2, do them or don't. Yeah, that's great. And 3, pay off the auto loan before getting the emergency fund to 3 to 6 months. Right. It should only be at $1,000. Right. That's all you got to do is look at the baby steps. And, people misinterpret them all the time. They think you got to do all of them at the same time. And, especially people that think they're sophisticated with their debt leverage and they're investing while they have debt and they already have a mortgage. They see that pay off your house early is step 6. So they want to be on step 6. And because they're so financially sophisticated, they don't want to be on steps 1 or 2, even though they are. You are on the lowest step that applies to you. So yeah, that is the general consensus. So that was some good comments in there. Then, before it got crazy, apparently, and they had to lock it. So yeah, the answer is yes. Oh, I forgot my lovely beverage today. That's all right. I'll make it. How much? Like 23 minutes more. We will make it. Lady Foster 4. Finished baby step 2 today. Excellent. Let me ask you this. Did you finish it without increasing the $1,000 emergency fund? You mean you actually did it? like it says to do in the baby steps, the easily understood baby steps. Hi guys. So as of today, 4/22/25, that was 3 days ago. It says it right there, 3 days ago. I can change my flare to baby step 3. Great. You didn't though. You could have, well, I think you have flare on your particular, yeah, right there. There it is. Yep, that is the flare, but you can also tag the post with the flare as well. I started baby steps around December of 22. All right, and that's yeah, that's a little bit over 2 years. So 2 years and what is it coming up on? 4 months. 2 years, 4 months. Okay, so not 3 years, and so if you can do it in 3 years, that's when it would be fine for you to keep the car, for example, as long as you can pay everything off in 3 years. I just graduated graduate school, and while I did not have any student loans, I did have credit card debt and a car loan totaling about 30,000 question mark. Doesn't know how much it was. Anyway, I had a great job waiting for me after graduation, but I chose not to enjoy my new salary and instead continue living like a poor grad student. That sounds suspiciously like advice that Mr. Ramsey gives. Yes, he says you live like a broke college student while you pay off your dumbass debt. Normally he's talking about student loans there, but in your case, probably my ex-wife did this as well, where lived off credit cards while going to school. Where are we at? Baby step 2 is hard. Yeah, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. There's no way around it. It felt depressing sometimes as I felt I could not do anything, but you were doing something. You were making your finances better. You were being an adult is what you were doing. So you were. To help keep me occupied, I bought a used Peloton bike and Amazon Kindle. I threw in a Kindle Unlimited subscription and boom. So then my social calendar was filled with probably biking and kindling. Reading our workouts, even with those activities available, is a hard adjustment. Through it, I learned the importance of budgeting advice and found alternative and creative ways of purchasing the things I want while staying within my budget. Imagine that. See, people don't want to do that. Example, I now check Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, value outlets, etc. for items I may want. So even though the hard times maybe were definitely hard, they were not a waste. No, absolutely not. You're in a much better place financially. I should add, I also got married shortly after graduation. I wanted my husband to be on board with the steps, so we started saving for baby step 3 simultaneously. Dave does not advise this strategy. No, not while you're paying off debt. You pay off the debt first. So that's a NAR. And then not advise others to combine baby step 2 and baby step 3. That's good. But then why did you do it? Why was it good enough for you to do? Our situation afforded us the ability to do both. No, you could have gotten done faster if you put everything to the debt and then paid off and then did the emergency fund. So you did it. You paid more interest too by not paying off the debt faster and doing it your dumb way. So congratulations on being done with baby step 2, but you dumb. You did it wrong. Are any person, any individuals or couples, individual little situation doesn't change the advice and what's best to do. Only a few months short of our 6-month emergency fund. Yeah, and again, it would be done faster if you did it the Ramsey advised way instead of trying to do your own little crap. I'm looking forward to blitzing the last leg of baby step 3 and moving on to baby step 4 by the end of the year. If you're in the thick of and baby step 2. What? and feeling discouraged, please keep going. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Improve. God bless. Yes, there is light at the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel, especially if you don't do it wrong like this person did. I need to stop. _1, probably. Use a tax return to finally pay off $10K in credit card debt today. Okay, hey, guess what? Guess what? You need to stop having too much withheld, so you give the government an interest-free loan all year, and then you get it back in April. That doesn't sound like a good deal to me. But if you had multiple kids, how did you do this baby steps? You do it the same way. There might not be travel baseball or any dumb crap like that. You might not have to buy everything that you think is, oh, this is so cute, we have to buy it. You also don't have to buy an SUV if you have multiple kids. They will fit in a Corolla like the other person had, thinking that a 4-year-old and 2 babies could not fit in the back seat of a Corolla. Yes, they can. Quit being dumb. We started the journey about 3 years ago and we're making great progress, but 2 kids and daycare costs have really put a slowdown on debt payments. Yeah, that's why it's often doesn't make sense for both spouses to work during while doing the baby steps, or at all even. A lot of times the daycare is just going to be too much of that. I mean, because if daycare is going to take 75% of what the lower earning spouse makes, then it's not worth it. This payment today has me feeling optimistic again. Well, great. We took our tax return refund, and guess what? If you didn't have that much withheld, you could have already been out of debt. So dumb. And we're able to use that and some other money that freed up after tax season to pay off the debt. I have no one to share this with outside my wife, so I didn't want to share it with people on similar journey. So you did want to share it with people? You said didn't. So it would be, so I didn't want to share it with people not on similar journeys, or you did want to with people on similar journeys. We still have more to pay off, like student loans, car, and some other debts, but feeling really motivated right now. Well, great. So you see, in addition to the tax return problem, you also have another problem. You starting this journey about 3 years ago, if you cannot be completely out of consumer debt in 3 years, that's when you sell cars and houses and things like that. So you're doing it wrong. It's taking too long. You're trying to keep all your debt stuff. So if you have completed the baby steps, are in the same situation, multiple kids in daycare, how did you do it? I worked opposite shifts of my ex-wife. I worked at night, and I was the daycare during the day. She was the daycare at night. So yeah, and that's how you do that, and then don't have to pay freaking daycare. So yeah. So yeah, it can be done. You just have to not be dumb. Donahue, Hue, fun. 9-4 kids. I don't know if this is reference to Phil Donahue, talk show host from back in the day, probably back to the 70s even. My goodness. Definitely 80s. 401k contribution match during baby step 2, and that's a NAR. So you see, baby step 2 is right here, right? Baby step 2, pay off all debts from smallest to largest using that snowball method. I don't see it saying, oh, also do baby step 4 while you're doing this. It does not say that. Baby step 4 is, you also have baby step 3 in between 2 and 4. And even then, you would not do that, because baby step 1, 2, and 3, you do one at a time in order. Again, one at a time is the main thing there. So you don't move on to a higher step. Like the How to Do the Baby Steps Right song says, what is it? Step 1, 1K emergency fund. You don't save more to add to that sum. You don't use that to pay off debt. And don't even think about higher steps, which people always do. They insist on it. Anyway, so you're doing it wrong if you're doing that. Doing the investing as well. You wait till step 4 for that. Hey, and step 4 comes after baby step 2. Imagine that. Currently working on baby step 2, become debt free. Yeah. Other than mortgage, if you have a mortgage. $62,000 in debt between a mixture of a personal loan, 2 vehicles. Mine and one is my wife's. All right. Could sell. I want to sell the 29K one, especially if that one's yours. Sell the most expensive one and get a beater. Credit cards under 500. That's dumb as crap. And 401k loan is oh my goodness, that's so stupid. My employer matches up to 9% on my 401k contributions. That's still a no. You don't do it. I don't care about the match. Mr. Ramsey does not care about the match. He did not care about the match when he concocted these steps. He's trying to get you out of debt, not trying to get you to half-ass it by putting a little bit to the debt extra and also putting a little bit into retirement. That's dumb. That's going to make it take longer. You're dumb. My 401k set up for an annual increase of 1% a year, and you can unset it up now to have nothing go into it while you pay off your dumbass debt. So before starting this, I was at 9% 401k. I don't care about that. You shouldn't be doing that now. Should I also stop the 9%? You stop everything. It would put a fair amount more in my paychecks to help eliminate the debt. Yeah, it would. And that's why we do it. On the other hand, it's hard to pass up. I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap. It's more important that you get rid of the debt than you get that match. And if you don't understand that, you do not have to follow the baby steps. Daddy Sharder. Alrighty then. That's lovely. Should I keep or sell the car? Just because of that screen name, I'm going to say sell it. It's probably sell it again, because most times, actually we had a guy today call the Ramsey show where he was able to keep the car. I think that was his only debt, and he didn't have didn't owe that much more on it, I think, and he made plenty of money to get it paid off within I think 2 years. I think less than 2 years. Let's see. Currently, I have 20K left on my car loan. I don't give a crap about the interest rate, and 10K in student loans at 4%. I make $1,700 a check and get paid bi-weekly. I do not have to pay on my student loans yet, and they're not gaining interest. That doesn't matter. You still pay them off. My car payment is $581. I've been thinking about selling the car for 20K. Yeah. Carvana offer. Okay. See what it's worth in private sale. Because guess what? Carvana is not trying to help you out with this deal. They are trying to make money off of you. And so you are better off financially almost always if you sell and buy private sale, because the dealer do take a bite. And save for a used car. I think I can get a scooter and take it to work. Okay. I've also been just thinking about keeping the car. It has 20K miles on it, so it's basically still new. Any advice? It has 20K miles on it, and it's still new, and it's only worth 20K? So that's weird, first of all. But yeah, that's gonna increase the position you're in financially a lot by getting rid of that 20K of debt. And then you still have the 10K. Actually, you need to be paying the 10K off first. You do pay the minimums on the car, but you pay that 10K in student loans off first, and it doesn't make a difference if it's again not gaining interest or deferred or whatever. That doesn't matter. You do smallest to largest is how the baby steps work. And again, you can do the Ramsey advice, or you can do whatever dumb crap you want to do without typing it on the Reddit. You can just do it. I think today is, maybe not today, but it's definitely the 25th. I can't remember. It's some anniversary of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, episode 3, and it is back in theaters. My son went to go see it with his pals today. Fun times. Where was it? Oh, next one. Big John OG, does this stuff work? Yes. It works as much as you put the work into it. Baby step 3, flare, so that's a much better place to start than in baby steps 1 or 2, for sure. And so it should work its butt off for you. If you're on the fence about the Dave Ramsey baby steps, or if you're just dappling, I think that's dabble, my friend. DABB, not PP. In them, but not fully committed. I've always been a long-time listener, but never really dived in. Well, after a job scare, it got us jumping into the baby steps full force. We're in baby step 3, saving for emergency fund. 33% of the way there. The piece this has given us makes up for all the streaming service that we have cut and all the eat out / delivery and online shopping we have stopped. Yeah. It's called being an adult. Good job. Our biggest obstacle was eating out and me eating out for lunch at work. We got a meal plan, stuck to it, and we plan meals ahead. Aldi is awesome, by the way. Is it work? Yes. Do I sometimes miss dumb crap I did before? I'm just filling it in because we get the gist of it. And so the answer is yes. So this person was not asking if it works. He was answering the question if it works for anybody that thought it might not. Acceptable subject 723. What to do with the car lease? You either pay it off or you get out of it. Hey all, hi guys. We started on baby steps this month. On baby step 2 now. It's my wife and I with our 2 kids under 3, living in New York City. Do take a bite, making 210K. 210K there is probably like 70K in the Midwest, dog. So that's, I don't envy you that. Our rent is 4K and childcare is 3.5K. See, this is why it's so hard when you got to do childcare. And so again, if both parents aren't making that much, which in New York City you probably do have to both be working, but I don't know how that's going to be tenable. Let's see. We're about 85K in debt, 45 on credit card, average 25% interest. So any of the dumb crap you bought on the credit card, if you still have it, sell it if it's worth anything. And 40K on personal loans. Yeah, anything you have that you bought with that dumb personal loan, any of that dumb crap, you sell that too. Anything you can. About half of this debt was because of an unexpected tax bill which we paid. Okay, so you see, if you have an unexpected tax bill, you don't have to go elsewhere to get a loan to pay it off. You can work out a payment plan with the IRS. Dumb. People are so dumb. But transfers the living cost to credit cards. Yeah, so that's dumb. You should have just made payment arrangements with the IRS then instead of being a dumbass. I never thought the debt was a problem till we had some emergencies. High child care cost. Yeah, hey, guess what? Child care costs a lot. And especially in New York City, probably. And realize how leveraged we were. Yeah, debt leverage is not is not advised by Mr. Ramsey. We're making significant changes now. We've both got remote jobs and are moving out of New York City to a low cost of living area. Fabulous. To be live with my in-laws. To be alive with my in-laws. Okay, hopefully you'll be alive there. I think they just is supposed to live with my in-laws for a few months till we pay off the debt. And Dave didn't necessarily advise that. Likes adults to live on their own instead of with mommy and daddy, even if it's so you can get your finances right. Which you plan to do by the end of the year with the help of some bonuses and such. Before we started on this path, we had gotten a new Honda CR-V car lease in December last year with 550 monthly payments. We now have 30 payments left. We sold an old car and got this lease, so we will have to make about 25 of those payments from our pocket. Or you can see what the get out of it free thing is. The buyout, or whatever they call that. So you can get out of these, but you either get out of it or you pay it off and buy the vehicle. Current purchase value of the lease is $40,000. Kelly Blue Book value $36,000. Hey, guess what? Vehicles go down in value. That's why Mr. Ramsey says to not do any dumbass leasing or financing. We are wondering if it is better. Today's show is the dumbass show. Better to keep paying the remaining payments monthly and return the car after the lease, or start a sinking fund after paying off the current debt to cover remaining payments and for a new used car. Yeah, or is there some other route you would suggest? Yeah, you got no choice. I mean, you either get rid of it now and pay the hefty fee, I'm sure that it is, but it might not be as much as the remaining payments. Side note, I don't think we'll get a loan from a credit union based on our credit score and DTI, debt to income ratio there, to pay off the car before selling it. This seems to have been a common solution on the show. Yeah, so you see what you do instead of saying, I don't think we'll get a loan from a credit union based on our blah, 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 blah. And you don't only have to check with credit unions, but you can check other places as well, other banks or whatever, and see if you can get a loan. Instead of saying, I don't think we will, and then give up on it. So do that. Check on it instead of just saying, I don't think we can do that. How about you find out, dear? Sounds like it feels like for me. Oh no, my wife and I, it is a man, baby. So yeah. Sorry, I get in it. Yeah. If I would embrace the Southern thing, I could still call a man honey if he was doing something dumb. Which not checking on just assuming you can't get a loan to get out of that car lease is dumb. Typone 2027. Where to park my emergency fund? Background, I'm 20 and have been listening for about 8 months, but have never been taught to TOO much finance or English from family. I have no idea how to open / what I need or what I want or need in a bank account. My 4-month emergency fund is just sitting in my regular savings account as now. So my question is, how do I go about opening a high yield savings account, and how do I transfer my fund into that bank? So you see, any online account with a financial institution that you open, it has a button in there that says transfer money from your bank. That's right there. It's very, very simple. So I understand you're 20 and have been sheltered from the world. So you're listening for 8 months, you think you might have caught on to some of this stuff, but I guess not. But the problem I have with the high yield savings account is that those are generally online, and so it's a 1 to 3 day, longer if it's the weekend transfer, and emergencies don't wait 1 to 3 days before they happen. And so, I get a lot of pushback from people. They're like, oh, well, we wouldn't have to pay out anything if there was an emergency. How do you know? How do you know what kind of emergency it is? It may be required immediately. And so that's why it needs to be liquid and not 1 to 3 days away. And so you just lose out on the extra interest in the interest of having emergency fund liquid. Alrighty, and we will do this one on Monday. Take home is $800 bi-weekly, and I don't see how I can start saving for retirement now that I'm 30. That's not enough money, dog. I don't know where you're living where that would be enough money. You're doing it wrong. Something is going on here. So that's not enough money to even live on. But the first thing you would do is to stop spending money on everything that is not 100% necessary. So you're not eating out. You're not doing any dumb crap with your money. But we'll get into all this and see what my boy is doing. Or it could be a female as well. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Again, Coach Steve Money at Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you are having money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, or you just want me to tell you you're a dumbass or you're doing it wrong, be more than happy to do that. You can schedule that at... I forgot to put my webcam light on today. Oh well, it looks fine. You can schedule that appointment at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. That link is in the ticker below. Also, you can email me about any financial questions, anything about the coaching, anything about anything on my YouTube channel, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, CashApp, $, Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, still that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com for a Walmart gift card. Upcoming streams, that would be this one, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. And that starts at 5:27 p.m. Eastern Time after the Ramsey Show is done on YouTube. Right after George says, okay, it's getting weird here, when he's trying to tell you to go over to the network app. Because the last radio hour, which is about 42 minutes of actual time, edited time, that last 42 minutes is only exclusively on the Ramsey Network app. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart. It says it right there in case you forget. Just go to my page and read it to yourself over and over and over again. Make smart financial decisions every day.